Well, I guess that's a wrap. I don't know. It's listed as 13 episodes. The Blu-rays were supposed to be 13 episodes, but damn if this didn't feel like the last episode. But yeah, this is my thoughts on, I think, the finale of Shield Hero's second season. So let's jump into it. Honestly, it felt like this episode as it was wrapping up. There's a side of me that kind of believes that the creators of the studio is just kind of like, let's just finish this. Let's get it done. This is why I kind of wonder if this is actually the last episode. They're like, we still have one more episode. And just stop it. Just end the season. Let's wrap things up. Let's rush through all it. Like, even the very end of it, it starts to have this monologue over everything that's happening. It's just basically laying out everything that's happening. Like, they don't even care anymore. So yeah, we returned. Oh yeah, by the way, there was waves that were here. The other heroes handle it because, you know, they needed to recuperate their honor and everything. And then, oh yeah, by the way, there's this apparently there's this Phoenix, which is another one of the Guardian Beasts that's appeared, so that's here. It just feels like they're just trying to get done just for the sake of being done, but woof, I don't know. I'm just happy Kyo's gone. Yeah, if we got nothing from this last episode, this finale, Kyo's gone. Like, we can hopefully wipe our hand of yet another very terribly written villain character. We try to do something at the beginning of this episode, really trying to get into the fact that Kyo was another isekai, which is something honestly was pretty much stated in the last episode, that Kyo is in fact somebody that was isekai, similar to Naofumi. It never really explains how he got there. Was he summoned? Who summoned him? Just the fact that he was a shut-in gamer. He hated the world. It shows him jump out of a window, and apparently that's how he ended up in this world. That he wasn't summoned, that maybe he was just like your standard isekai fare, where he has to die. Maybe as he was falling from the window, a truck hit him and transported him to another world. That got dark. But anyways, yeah, it kind of insinuates that his death, it brought him to this other world, and there he had power and decided that he wanted to be evil and ha ha ha, and oh yeah, Naofumi, I want to see your evil face and all that kind of stuff. So there's Kyo's story. There's Kyo's story. I hated my previous world. I came to this world, had power, and was drunk on it. That's his life. Now, unfortunately, it never does really answer if he was in fact the book hero. I maybe I missed that. I kind of messaged in my Discord saying I still don't know the whole vassal versus cardinal hero thing. Unless I missed it at some point explained in this season, it seemed like it came out of nowhere with the explanation that the queen gave when the turtle was showing up. And she's like, hey, there's vassal heroes, and they're here, and they're going in there. And which we end up finding out is Glass and her team. But I assumed that they were cardinal heroes too. So what's the difference between a cardinal hero and a book hero? Because at this point, it insinuates, because we never seen that Kyo was summoned, my assumption was that cardinal heroes were summoned, whereas vassal heroes are chosen in that world. So everybody that's a vassal hero that we've met so far are people that are within the world that are selected by the weapon. So you have, yeah, we basically had Raphtalia selected by the katana in this other world. Yes, technically Glass and Lark and Theris, they were all chosen by a weapon, and they were in that world already. Whereas typically cardinal heroes is people like Naofumi, Shield Hero, Ren, you have Motoyusa, Yasu, and Itsuka. And then in the other world, you had Kizuna. She was summoned to that world and was a cardinal hero. So Kyo brings up an oddity. And this could be purposeful. This could be not plot hole. Kyo was an oddity. Was he not a cardinal hero? Did he just end up there in some other means and then was selected as a book vassal? Or was he a cardinal hero? Well, I don't know. And then technically, if you think about it, Raphtalia is another oddity. She was technically brought into this world, or this other world, and then became a vassal. So she wasn't summoned, so I guess she wouldn't be considered as cardinal. None of it's really explained, and it doesn't make any sense, but at the same time, that could be purposeful. It could be that Raphtalia, it could be that Kyo, they are oddities. And maybe they'll explain it later on, them being oddities. Yeah, they come in here. Yes, come to find out, this guy has been made into a chimera. Apparently, he has always been a chimera. I remember technically Kyo said that when he died earlier, was this idea that it gave you that body. He technically trapped I think it said the vassal hero for the mirror, and his soul away, and then was putting his soul into different things, which would explain why he hated Kyo so much and wanted to get the katana. But yes, he brings him back. Oh yeah, by the way, the other girls are back too, and they're chimeras too, and they kind of just do the whole, we'll handle this, you head on ahead Naofumi thing, which made sense that Rishia went with him, because Rishia is able to at least power or control her chi enough, or ki or whatever, enough to fight Kyo, which, again, this is another one of those frustrating things where, like, Rishia could easily have taken him down. And maybe it's just that she's not willing to kill somebody, but girl, you could have easily done it. You could have, of course, you could have ended this, like, in the last world, but that wouldn't be as cool enough. Instead, we have to have Naofumi get there, get super angry, give himself up to the wrath again, and then fight against the wrath. It was really bad, because he has this whole thing where Naofumi's saying all these terrible things about Rishia, that he's stuck with her because she wants to get into the pants of the bow hero, and she's like, I'm glad you told me the truth, but that's not the truth about Raphtalia and Firo. They actually love you. They're not just using you. Which always turns into that really difficult thing, and I think this is something that was sort of interesting in the first season, is Naofumi's inner struggle with wrath. And the idea that he says these really terrible things, but in actuality, he never really says that. So is it a thing where it is projecting his most inner thoughts that he might not agree with, but they are like these insecurities that are in there? Like, we can, in our most angered moments, we can say things that we don't really believe. But we say it because it's something in there. It's a thought that's in your mind that you can't really escape. Insecurity that you face, even your most beloved people that you have in your life, you might have a struggle with believing that they care about you. And even though you might say that, you don't really necessarily want to believe that. And maybe that's what it's tapping into, especially with Rishia, because he's only recently met her. But it is struggling when you have people like Raphtalia and Fido, which technically when Raphtalia became the katana hero, what did Naofumi say? Oh, you're free now, go ahead. Like, dude, really? Do you really believe that? He literally went and grabbed Rishia and had her do this whole pact with you, just like she did. It's not as if she was maliciously going, well, because he's my master, I gotta go get Rishia and force her too. No, she likes you and she finds a benefit in it. But yeah, power friendship brings Naofumi out of his wrath as usual. Add into that Ost appearing, which, again, I still don't believe Ost is dead. I still don't. Well, I guess what they're going to end up doing is that she's not technically gone, but that her spirit's within the shield, and so she'll pop up every now and then and talk to Naofumi. That's probably the worst that we'll have. But yeah, after blasting Kyo, taking him out, thank goodness, if he's really dead. Again, I don't know if this writer likes to kill off any characters. I really was upset to see them leave Kizuna behind. I was hoping for some stupid rule or something to come into play that says, oh, by the way, Kizuna has to go with Naofumi back to this world, just to rope her into the situation. But no, we had to say goodbye to Kizuna. She was easily one of my favorite characters that they introduced with this recent season. But honestly, I think what's going to happen is Kizuna's going to be staying behind in this world, trying to figure out what they can do to stop the waves system and to not have the result of saving her world be the destruction of this other world. But yeah, then we get the whole montage of everything, the results of the rest of the season pretty much play out. Phoenix showing up, he's become a Viscount. Oh yeah, by the way, the heroes destroy the wave, and that pretty much just rushes it to an end. I don't know what's going to happen with the 13th episode, if there's even going to be a 13th episode. Some people are saying that's going to be a recap, but that's like 2 posts, and they might be feeding off each other, but we'll see. I'm assuming we're due for an onsen or summer beach episode here soon, so maybe that 13th episode will be Blu-ray only, and then hopefully Crunchyroll releases it over here. But either way, it was a very rough season. Let's be perfectly honest. I know that some people probably still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it in the end. I was extremely frustrated by it. No doubt. I want it to do really well. I want its pacing to be fantastic, but obviously there wasn't enough here, and I kind of starting to believe that the rumors that they wanted to rush through this to get through this arc because it wasn't that interesting may hold true. I mean, typically they just skip if they want to do stuff like that, but maybe they wanted to get Rishia's developments in there. Maybe they wanted to get a lot of these other characters introduced in a more logical way than just completely skipping it. But either way, it was a rough season. Hopefully season 3 is really good, and hopefully it's given enough episodes to work with. But yeah, I don't know. It's obviously not doing very well critically wise by a lot of the fandom because its rating is very low, but that's understandable when you have a lot of people that are excited about the series. The season 1 did so well, and then suddenly this one feels very rushed. So I'm not sure what the mindset was behind the pacing and the decision making. I don't blame the studio, don't get me wrong. I mean, yes, technically you can blame them for the CGI turtle, but the studio's going to do whatever they're kind of instructed to do, and maybe that was to get through this entire story as quick as possible in only 12 episodes. But in the end, if this is the last episode, I will say I loved Kizna. I loved her to death. I loved seeing this other world. I really enjoyed the transformation that we've seen in Raftelia. I think it was absolutely fantastic. Kyo was a huge, massive stain on the entire season whatsoever, but overall, at least I got Raftelia in a Shrine Maiden outfit, kicking butt. That's all I really ask for. So we'll see where it goes from there. I'm curious if they'll get more into Raftelia as a katana hero when technically she's not in that world anymore. Was she able to bring the sword with her? Does it still have its power? Those are the questions that I really want to get answers to, hopefully in the next season. But I'll be watching it, no doubt. But I thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, as always. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below. Comment. Let me know what you thought of this finale. Subscribe if you have not already so you can get all my content. I do news, first impressions, reviews, episode-by-episode impressions of certain shows. Top list, if it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support us more, we have a Patreon link, tips link, and a super thanks button down below. Definitely appreciate everybody that does. And y'all take care.